نعم.
أظن نحن طولنا عليك يا أستاذ. لو في أي حاجة أخرى مثلا وممكن نكلموك يعني في وقت آخر في يوم آخر.
له الشكر يعني الحقيقة هذا
الله يخليك. الله يخليك. لا بالعكس الله يخليك يعني ربنا يحميكم وربنا معك.
هذا يطمنا، هذا تشجيع لنا، وحنبلغ أنتم مجهودكم وصلها إلى السكان هنا وللمتضررين، لأن هناك اهتمام وهناك ناس تسعى لإيجاد مخارج لنا وتوصل رسالتنا إلى كل دول العالم ولكل الناس المحبة للسلام والأمن ومنظمات الإغاثة وأطباء الحدود، حتى يمكن أن يمد لنا يد المساعدة في أقرب وقت ممكن.
أكيد يا أستاذ أكيد. العالم تو حاليا يعني سمع رسالتك وبإذن الله يعني قاعدة تنتشر، وبإذن الله المساعدة جاية يعني، فربنا معاكم وحتسمعوا منا بإذن الله يعني قريبا. كيف ما قلت لك يعني حابين، بس مش حابين نزعجوك، بس في نفس الوقت حابين نحكوا معاكم وبنعرف شو نصاير. إذا كان مساعدة وصلت لكم شنو، فبإذن الله يعني تعالى الوضع حيتحسن إن شاء الله على الجميع.
لا شك، نحن نؤمن بأن بعد العسر يسر وأن النصر قريب إن شاء الله، والمعلومات مرتفعة هنا بالنسبة للثوار يعني. لا شك يعني من انفراج يعني، فنحن نثق في الله أولا وفي جهود الثوار هنا وجهود العالم معنا، وكل الأمم المتحضرة ومحبي السلام وحقوق الإنسان لابد أن يدعموننا بكل الوسائل، ونحن شاكرون وممتنون لكل من يبذل لمساعدتنا.
إن شاء الله.
ولكم
جزيل
الشكر.
الله يخليك. الله يخليك يا رب. خذوا بالكم أرواحكم، ربنا معاكم وربنا يحميكم إن شاء الله. مع السلامة.
شكرا جزيلا.
الله يخليك. مع السلامة. الله يخليك. مع السلامة. Okay, we're now done.
Thank you, Shai. Thank you so much to the translators as well. As you heard, it's just a very urgent situation. They have been barricaded on all sides since April 4th, and because of the lack of access to the international community and the press, this has been going on in complete darkness. There's been a complete media blackout. So these are very rare interviews, and we hope that the international community will listen and respond, because this is as urgent as it gets. Thanks everyone, and thanks for your patience.
Do a summary?
Yeah, could you do a summary, please?
Yeah, that's fine. So we just spoke to someone in Yefren. We asked things about the situation there, and he mentioned a plea, as we just spoke of a plea for help, and he mentioned that the attacks were from all directions. He mentioned that the siege has been ongoing for 2 months. Continuous attacks since the middle of this month. He mentioned Yefren and Gila are surrounded from all directions. The attacks are from all directions. G's forces are attacking the factories, the homes, the schools, the mosques, the trees, the forests. People have been hiding this entire time for weeks now on end, and the humanitarian situation is very dire. He said there's either a lack or a complete shortage. There's no water, no electricity, no medical staff. There are no doctors, no nurses, no specialists, no hospitals. The elderly are suffering. There are no medications for chronic diseases. The food shortages are there. When I asked him what was the food supply like, he said that they are using what little food supplies that were left from those who have evacuated. He says that people are living in constant darkness. There is no electricity, so day and night in darkness. they are using caves for their safety. People have lost hope. This is something that he repeated many times. People have lost hope. People feel like forgotten them. He says that G's forces are constantly committing these horrendous atrocities. They are kidnapping the elderly, the young. He says people are very distraught, and he repeats again that they feel they have no hope. It is a hopeless situation for them. Personal needs are not available. He says that they feel that the promises have been made to them, but nothing has been kept. No promise has been kept. They have heard that various organizations, international organizations, they promise to help them, to send them aid, to drop to them from planes humanitarian aid, but nothing has reached them. They feel that when I asked them what was the situation with, what was the role currently in that area, and he says that he feels, the people feel, that NATO has failed to protect them. They can hear the planes overhead. They can hear the airstrikes in faraway areas. He says, but there are no airstrikes from NATO in that area whatsoever. When I asked him, how can the world help you? He said, we need the humanitarian aid. We need weapons. The freedom fighters do not have weapons to protect the civilians. They are doing what they can, and they are being brave, but at the same time they need weapons. He says people feel that they've been hearing that helicopters, that the various organizations would be using helicopters. He says that they feel that this will help them if they use these helicopters to attack G's forces. G's forces, when I asked him about the attacks, he says they are using various weapons. So these are tanks, there are ground rockets, mortars, machine guns. Again, he mentions that the people feel that the promises have not been kept by the outside world. When I asked him, what are you using to treat the injured, to treat the sick? And he says, we've gone back to old medicinal methods. That's what is being used, the natural herbs and medicines. He also, again, reiterated, people feel helpless. There was another question that was posed to us, and we asked him that question, is that do they feel that because they are a minority, that these crimes are being committed? He says no. He says that it is Gaddafi's regime's ultimate, I would say, objective, according to him, that these crimes are committed against the entire country, that they truly believe that every city is undergoing these attacks. And again, his last statement was the freedom fighters are standing unified to protect this city, to protect the various cities until their death, and that they will not surrender. And again, he makes that plea for the world to help them. He wants us to call him back. He wants the world to call to ask about them, because he says that this message, he will let the people know in that area that we here have asked about them, because that will help in building some hope in people's hearts again. That's it.